In your first pre-season as head coach is done and dusted. How do you think pre-season as a whole panned out?
Yeah, as a whole, it's been really positive. The boys have worked really, really hard. We've pushed them, and they've responded really well to that. To be honest, we've got a lot of tactical work in, which I've spoken about before. I think this is a really important time for us. Obviously, Carl, myself coming in, it's a new way for us that we're going to play, and it's demanding. We ask a lot for the boys. We ask a lot from them mentally. We ask a lot from them tactically and also physically as well. So it's really important that we didn't waste any sessions. Every day we came in, we needed to make sure that the boys were really on it and we got the detail across to them, and then we implemented that detail on the training pitch. And I must say the boys have been fantastic. They've really engaged with what we're trying to do. They've bought in. Like I'm 100% convinced that they're all in with what we want to do, and that's the only way this works. If everyone's all in, if people are sort of a little bit in, a little bit out, it just doesn't exist. You have to be all in with what we want to try and achieve, and I really think that everyone at the football club is.
And some tough tests in pre-season. Your first game was against Sunderland, but also the likes of Carlisle, Hartlepool. Obviously, the results don't matter in pre-season, but do you think those games were the right tests for the squad?
Yeah, 100%. I think you always want to test yourself against higher opposition, and obviously those teams provided that for us. And there was loads of stuff that we done really well, and there was some stuff that we thought, you know what, we really need to work on this a lot, and we were able to come back on the training pitch and implement it. But I thought even against opposition, the stuff that we done well, it was really hard for the opposition to cope with us, and that just gives the players a lot of belief and a lot of confidence in actually what we are doing does work. No matter what the opponent is, if we get it right, then it will work. And as I say, it gives the boys a lot of belief in actually what we're doing works. So that's really important for us. And also just you have to work really, really hard against better teams. That's just football. The only way that you can try and sort of bridge that gap when you're playing against better quality is outwork them. And I think that's going to be our mantra for this season, that we're just going to work harder than every other team. And that's all I ask for the boys is play with so much courage, so much belief. But you have to work, and you have to work harder than you've ever worked before, and that's the only way we're going to get success.
And since you've come in, how comfortable do you feel the current squad is with the way you and Mags want to play in the system that you're trying to implement?
Yeah, I think it's an enjoyable system for starters. I think boys enjoy playing the system because they have a lot of the football and they have a lot of the ball in right areas where they want to attack. So I think from that stance, we've got the buy-in from the players in terms of they want to do it. Obviously the new signings, what we brought in, that was our pitch to them coming in, is listen, come in and playing the style of play and you'll fit right in and we'll make you look really good within the style. So the new signings were already sort of chomping at the bit, and I feel the boys who are already here have responded so well to what we've asked of them. Like as I touched on before, it's really not easy to play in our system. Like every day is tough. Training's not just generic where you come in, it's 5-a-sides and then you go home. We're working from the minute we get in. We're going through meetings with the boys, then we're going out on the training pitch. We're asking so much of them, and I'm so demanding, I feel. But I feel Carl is, and Matty and Phil are all demanding of the players. But I really feel that that's what's needed to get the maximum out of the players. And as I said on Saturday, that's our job. Our job is to try and find the very best version of the player that we absolutely can. And there is moments where they need their arm around them, but there's also moments where we've really got to ask questions of them, and we've got to get right into the core of the player to get the very best out of them.
And touching on the new players that you brought in, how have they settled into the club?
Yeah, really well. Obviously there's already a good group here, which is a credit to the football club and the previous coaches, that the group's a good group to come into. You've got some like really good characters within the group, which has helped the boys come in really easy, to be honest. But the new signings, obviously they picked up a couple of injuries and stuff, so it hasn't been as smooth, but that's just football. Football's never straight line. There's always sort of different ways you have to go, and I think the new signings who have been injured have still kept themselves around it, which is really important. They've tried to learn the way we want to play, so when they are fit, they're going to come back in and they're going to understand the system. And then obviously the boys who have played and been fit, I think they've been outstanding. Like, we worked so hard as a football club on recruitment, everyone from top to bottom. We've been relentless with it, to be honest, and we're still not done yet with what we want to do in terms of the squad, but yeah, we've worked so hard.
And you've had your taste of promotion in this league. Is that something that you think gives you an edge as a coach?
Not I wouldn't say particularly for this league, but I do think getting a promotion or relegation or whatever it is that you've previously done, I think you get a certain feel from it. So obviously the year we won the season with Gateshead, I remember feeling certain things during the season, like, yeah, we've got something really special here. So you can identify with them feelings, and I do think that's a strength. And also the ability not to panic. when things are, you know, as I've said before, success just doesn't happen in straight lines. There's a lot of bumps in the road and there's a lot of tough moments, and we're going to have to learn to suffer throughout the season, and that's us as a football club, from supporters to staff. So in terms of how we're going to react to that is really, really important for us. But me personally, I think just the strength of what I bring is all the experiences, not so much the winning the leagues and stuff. But as I see it does help in terms of you've felt it before, you know what good looks like, you know what you have to do to get there. But it's all the experiences throughout my full career really, which I feel that helped the most.
And how do you envision the perfect start of the season, and what would the message be to the fans to support that vision?
Listen, this is we have to win. There's no getting away from that in football. We have to win, but it's how we win and it's how we lose as well. So we're working on a process, and we want it to look a certain way, and every day we come in and we just work on that process. And it's really important from our point of view in terms of staff and players that we're just really present in the moment. We don't get fixed with there's a target to get to or anything like that. There isn't. We have to come in every day and just be really present and work as hard as we possibly can. There's no point in football, and I think everyone who's worked in football will tell you this, you don't get to a point and you can just relax and be like, we've achieved something now, so I can just take my foot off the gas. I've got to my target, so now what happens after? There is no such thing. Our target is to come in every day and just be really present and train like absolute animals and listen to the meetings and become the best version of ourselves as we possibly can, and that is the only goal.